Hi, this is Vijay Jagdish, and this class is brought to you by Victor Growth Academy. In this class, we are going to discuss about the complete knowledge on monsoon climate, that is India's our own climate. There's a flood happening in Kerala, Karnataka, then later Himachal Pradesh, Assam. So every year in the month of June to September, we have this festival called Flood Festival. So it is very important to understand what is this monsoon, why this is happening only in this month, and so that UPSC questions coming in the monsoon related we can answer. This question can be expected in the prelims as well. It can be expected in the mains as well. So in this regard, we'll discuss about monsoon. The primary source of monsoon climate is you have NCERT. I already told in the previous video what are the sources for the geography preparation. Here we are going to tell you that in same NCERT, 9th standard NCERT combined that with the 11th standard NCERT. Okay, both has got a very good information on the monsoon. Okay, so what is this monsoon? Okay, the meaning of monsoon. The monsoon comes from a word mosam. Mosam means weather or a climate. Okay, and but what for all of us in India, when I say monsoon is arrived, then we think that the rainfall is arrived. Basically that is true, but monsoon is a climate. Like you have got a Mediterranean type of climate, you have got desert climate, like that. Monsoon is a climate. So India has got a monsoon climate. Okay, and monsoon literally means, right on this point, seasonal reversal of wind. Okay, monsoon means seasonal reversal. That means 6 months wind will go this side, another 6 months wind will go this side. That is what. So this side. Okay, so that's why we have got two types of monsoon: southwest monsoon and we have got northeast monsoon. So this is because every 6 months the wind will change its direction. Okay, so monsoon means, in simply put, seasonal reversal of wind. Okay, having said that, in the monsoon country, okay, if you that India is a typical example of monsoon country. So in monsoon country, what happens? 4 months we have got a rainfall during the summer season, and remaining 8 months you don't have rainfall at all. Then imagine how India is surviving. Okay, that means June, July, August, September we have got monsoon. The rainfall is there, and from the October onward there is no rainfall. Okay, so another 8 months is a dry season. So we have to manage that. That is why lots of rivers are there in India. And a lot of dams are being constructed, a lot of efforts are being made to conserve the water. All these are happening, but still that 4 months we have got a flood, then another 8 months we don't have water at all. Now why this happens? Okay, actually to understand the monsoon you should understand the wind movement in the world. Okay, we have got 3 planetary winds. Okay, if you look at the globe, the entire globe is divided into different pressure belts. You have got a polar high, you got a subpolar high, subpolar low, then you got subtropical high, then you got equatorial low. Like this, it is coming like that. Okay, so from the low pressure, from the high pressure to low pressure, wind will always be moving it. Okay, so 3 planetary winds are there. They are known as trade winds. Okay, they are known as westerlies. Then they are known as polar easterlies. This three wind determine the entire climate of the globe. In our case, in the case of monsoon, it is a trade wind which is coming to the India in the month of June. Okay, why it is coming in particular season? Okay, what makes them to come? That is what we have to understand, which is known as the origin of the monsoon. Okay, we'll discuss that. So first important reason why the trade wind crosses the equator and it is coming to India. The first important reason is that, note down this point, it is a differential heating of land and water. Okay, very simple. You could have gone to any beach, there's a cold wind coming from the sea, and in the night there is a reversal of wind. So what happens? There's a differential heating of land and sea. In the land, what happens during daytime, there's a convection currents are produced, or in simple language, it heats up very quickly. Okay, what is that? Land heats up very quickly than compared to the sea. So what happens when it is getting heated up quickly, the air which is above the land will also get heated up, and once it is heated up, they will become very loose. Okay, they will become very light and they will travel upwards. This current is known as convectional current. So very simple thing. It's not a very complicated things. I'm saying during the daytime, what happens? The land heated up quickly and there will be a convection current, means upward movement of wind will happen, creating a low pressure over the land. Okay, now already I told you that wind always move from high pressure to low pressure. Okay, so when the wind moves from high pressure to low pressure, they'll bring monsoon, or you can say they bring rain and all. Okay, so during daytime, a low pressure is developed over the land because of simple reason of differential heating of land and sea. Okay, so land gets heated up, there's a low pressure created because of convectional current, the wind will move above. Okay, now this wind which moves above can also bring rainfall. Okay, and to compensate that, there will be a movement of wind from land, sea. So this is a very simple. You go to any beach, you go to Marina Beach, you go to Cherai Beach, anywhere you can see this kind of wind. Now imagine such a thing happening in the entire India. India is considered to be a land, and the Indian Ocean to be considered to the sea. The Indian continent gets heated up during the summer season. So we have got summer season. It starts from right after February. You have got summer season. So March, April, May. So this 3 season, what will happen? 3 months there will be a huge of heating on the Indian subcontinent. So there will be low pressure developed over Indian subcontinent, which will attract the trade winds from the Indian Ocean is possible. That is one possible reason. But at the same time, you have to understand, monsoon is not a very simple thing. We cannot say that sea breeze, land breeze, and it is our monsoon. Monsoon is highly complex, and even today we are not able to predict. Okay, so other meaning of monsoon will be unpredictable climate also. We don't know. So most of the time you could have experienced when the district collector is announcing a holiday, that day it will not rain. Okay, but they will have information that there is going to be a red alert, is a heavy rain is going to happen. So it is a highly unpredictable monsoon. So one such reason I was telling you is differential heating of land and sea. Okay, second important thing is the concept of El Nino. Okay, write down ELNINO, El Nino. What is this El Nino? El Nino has nothing to do with the Indian Ocean directly. Okay, this El Nino has to has its relation with the South America. Yeah, it's in some South America. If you go to of the coast of Peru, there is normally an ocean current which is known as the Humboldt Ocean Current. It is also known as the Peruvian Ocean Current. It is a cold ocean current. Okay, so I am giving you that we are going to South America of the coast of Peru. There is a cold ocean current which is known by the name Humboldt Ocean Current, also known by the name Peruvian Ocean Current. But for some reason, this cold current is replaced by a warm current. Okay, see, ocean current means you have see, the sea is not static. The sea water in the oceans are not static. They move from one place to another because of lot of reasons. One among them is rotation of the earth. Okay, so in the off the coast of Peru, what happens? You can see a cold current is moving, okay, which is known as Humboldt current. This, for some reason, which is even people are not able to identify, you can say the wind movement changes or XYZ, but for some reason this is replaced by a warm oceanic current. That warm oceanic current is known by the name El Nino. It is also known by the name Child Christ. It is also known by the name Child Christ because it comes in the month of December, coinciding with the Christmas. That is known as Child Christ. Now, very straight point, things are very straight. Whenever there is a El Nino, there's a failure of Indian monsoon. Okay, whenever there's a El Nino, there's a failure of Indian monsoon. Okay, now what is to do with the South America and what is to do with India? Okay, because the wind movement which happens from the Australian continent, which is supposed to come to Indian continent, will be actually diverted to the South American continent. So the wind movement will not be proper in the Indian subcontinent, which leads to a failure of monsoon. Now, opposite of this also there. Okay, when this cold current I told you, Humboldt cold current is getting aggravated, becomes very strong, that time India will have a very good rainfall. That phenomenon is known by the name La Nina, L-A-N-I-N-A. Okay, La Nina. During this period, there will be a strong rainfall happening in the Indian subcontinent. So El Nino is a failure, La Nina is a positive. Okay, so that is the second reason. So I told you, first reason is, simply put, we have a differential heating of land and sea. Second one is the concept of El Nino and the La Nina. Third one is Tibetan Plateau. Now, if you look at the physiography of Indian subcontinent, we got a Tibetan plateau, then you got Himalaya, then you got Indian plains. So this Tibetan plateau is actually a very elevated land. Okay, it is actually a mountain. It is, but one thing is it's flat. So it can retain the heat for longer period of time. Because it can retain the heat for longer period of time, it can create that low pressure also for longer period of time. Now, this will bring this will attract the trade wind to come to Tibetan plain, but Tibetan plateau is stopped by the Himalaya. Okay, it's beyond that. So low pressure is there, but when the wind comes, it cannot go beyond India. Beyond Himalaya. So thereby, it has to rain within the Indian subcontinent. So Tibetan plateau, you have to understand the word. It acts as a heat engine. It retains the heat for a longer period of time. A low pressure is created over that, which will attract the trade winds to come to India. That is a third important point. Then fourth important point is a role of jet stream. Jet stream. JET. So you know jet stream. This jet stream is something which is not in the lower level of the atmosphere. We don't feel the jet stream. Jet streams are actually found in the upper atmosphere. It will help the movement of jets. That is why the word jet stream. So this jet stream has a very important role to play in the arrival of the monsoon. So what happens during the winter season? So what is the winter season for us? October, November, December. During this winter season, the jet stream is actually over the Himalaya. Okay, so it will be, the Himalaya will bisect this into two half or two portion, you can say. One is north of Himalaya, one is south of Himalaya. The south of Himalaya is very active in the winter season. But I told you in the another video that 21st June what happens? 21st June the sun is exactly over the Tropic of Cancer, that is exactly over India. So when the sun is exactly over India, you can see that you can say that jet stream is very shy towards sun, so they run away from that. So south of Himalaya, the branch of jet stream in south of Himalaya, they disappear when there is a summer, and particularly when the onset of sun over the Tropic of Cancer, that is over India. Now somebody is like, if somebody is sitting, like you are sitting in one chair, okay, and somebody else is coming, if you vacate that, then I can give this chair to somebody else. Okay, so basically this is exactly happens, a vacuum is created. Okay, jet stream has occupied a position south of Himalaya, but now it has vacated its position. The vacuum is available. Now this is a position which is going to be filled by trade winds coming from Indian Ocean. Okay, so fourth important points. Apart from this, you can say that there's something called a dipole, there's something called southern oscillation. Okay, all these are pressure differences between Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. These also you can read. But basically, you can deal with the questions related with monsoon in prelims as well as mains based upon this one. Okay, now I'll tell you one more thing. See, during this period, we are getting rainfall only in the summer season. Okay, now what happens the 8 months remaining 8 months? We don't have water. Okay, and the nature has given solution for that as well. So in the winter, what happens? There is two rainfall happening in India in the winter season as well. One is in northern India, one is in the Coromandel coast, Tamil Nadu coast. Okay, because Tamil Nadu coast or Tamil Nadu entirely does not receive rainfall during the southwest monsoon. Okay, because we know there's a barrier. Okay, Western Ghats act as a barrier, so rainfall will not go to the Tamil Nadu. Okay, but during the northeast monsoon, that is in the month of October, November, December, during this period, what happens? The monsoon which is retreating, which is going back. Okay, I already told you monsoon is a reversal of wind. Okay, so in southwest monsoon comes in the summer season. In the winter season, what happens? The wind from the northeast, okay, takes some moisture from the Bay of Bengal and they pour some rainfall in the Coromandel coast, that is Tamil Nadu coast. Okay, so that is one possibility of having a rainfall in the winter season. Then one more thing, very important, it can be made a separate video also, but still I'll explain here. The concept is known as western disturbances. Western disturbances, as the name implies that it is a western disturbances. So disturbances normally in the normal life don't disturb me, and that is the disturbance is always a negative word. But in geography, disturbance is always a good word. It can produce rainfall. So western disturbances during what time? During the period of October, November, December, there will be a cyclone which is created in Mediterranean Sea. Like if you're the Punjab is there, okay, Haryana, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh. From there latitude wise, if you go towards west, you can reach Mediterranean Sea. Okay, so in Mediterranean Sea, what happens? There will be a cyclone formed. This cyclone formed in the Mediterranean Sea will be taken to India. Yeah, believe me, it is taken to India by a jet stream. The jet stream which I was talking about earlier, the Himalaya is bisecting into two half, right? So this jet stream will bring the cyclone which is there in the Mediterranean Sea to India, and it will be very occluded form. Occluded form means almost a dead form. Okay, but when they come to India, on their way towards to India, over the Caspian Sea, they'll acquire some more moisture, and they'll come to India and they'll pour some rainfall. Okay, that is known as winter rainfall. So western disturbance produces winter rainfall, and particularly one region, the region is parts of southern Jammu Kashmir, you can say Punjab, Haryana and western Uttar Pradesh, all these places. But this rainfall, which is very small in quantity but very very crucial for a crop called Rabi crops. Okay, that means wheat. Otherwise they will not having any rainfall at all. The last point in this, the concept of cyclone. Okay, what is the concept of cyclone? See, cyclone is basically defined as a low pressure. it's a low pressure, it's surrounded by high pressure, and because of this what happens, there is a lot of evaporation happening, condensation happening, rainfall will happen. The Bay of Bengal, okay, Bay of Bengal, okay, during the month of December when the northeast monsoon is coming, will be lot of cyclones formed. Once the cyclone is formed, they will be traveling towards the east. Okay, these cyclones are known by the name tropical cyclone. The other one which I told you from the Mediterranean Sea is actually a temperate cyclone. So there are two types of cyclone. One is temperate cyclone, the other is tropical cyclone. Temperate cyclone will be formed in the temperate region, that means above the 23.5. Okay, tropical cyclones are between 23.5 northern and 23.5 southern. So that, okay, so cyclones, whatever is formed in Bay of Bengal are tropical cyclone. The property of the tropical cyclone is it will be created in the sea only. It will not be found in the land. Okay, and always they will move towards from east to west. That is why Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Odisha are getting affected. Okay, then small rainfalls which happens in India. See, this you can refer from the NCERT itself. Okay, and you have got any doubt, you can always comment below. I will be happy to make a clarification or make a separate video also. Okay, there are certain local winds which is happening in India during this period. Okay, local winds, one is Loo, L-O-O, Loo, which means Andi. Okay, it's a hot and dusty wind. This wind actually creates a kind of uncomfortable. People may die also. It's very high temperature, or you can say hot wind. Okay, it flows in the month of March, April, May in the northern hemisphere, northern India. Okay, then you have got something called blossom shower. Okay, the question in the prelims level will be, where is this blossom shower is located? It is located, where is it happening? The answer is Karnataka. Blossom, like coffee blossoms, happens during this period. Then mango shower we have got, that happens in Kerala, ripening of mango fruits. Okay, in between, some other words you should understand is monsoon actually comes, okay, to India on the 1st of June. Sometimes it can be delayed. Okay, but once it is onset, there will be a lot of breaks also. Okay, that means the 1 week there is no rainfall at all happening. Okay, this is because there is something called the monsoon wind will be going parallel to the our continent. It will be just saying bye bye, and it will be going only in the Arabian Sea. They will not able to enter the land. So that is a monsoon break. Okay, and the last point which I forgot to tell you is the role of ITCZ. Okay, write down ITCZ. Intertropical convergence zones. What is this intertropical convergence zones? Okay, see, I told you already, the earth is made up of different pressure belt. So high pressure to low pressure to high pressure, this keeps on, there are 7 pressure belt basically. So equator is treated to be the low pressure zone. Okay, because a lot of convection currents are going. So because low pressure is there, from the both the ends, okay, there will be a winds converging at this point. Okay, so at equator the winds will be converging. At equator the winds will be converging. That is why the equator is known as intertropical convergence. Intertropical, both tropical convergence zone. Okay, but that intertropical convergence zone, that is ITCZ over the equator, is not permanent. Okay, it will move northwards or it will move southwards. Okay, we call it as shifting of wind belt. Okay, now why it happens? Because of the movement of the sun itself. So in the month of June, okay, now I told you that why the trade wind should come to India. Okay, I told you a lot of reasons. So the last reason is this one. ITCZ itself is over the India, which is normally at the equator, but it will be shifted to India along with the movement of sun. Okay, now once the trade wind which has to come and converge in the equator finds that ITCZ is not located there, it has shifted to India, so it will cross the equator. It will cross the equator, and after crossing, you need to know something called Ferrel's law. That means after crossing the equator, it will turn towards its right. And that is why the monsoon for India is known as southwest monsoon. That means it is coming from the southern side, and that is from western side. So southwest monsoon. That is why Kerala is getting the rainfall. It is not Tamil Nadu which is getting the rainfall. It is the Kerala that is getting rainfall because it is a southwest monsoon. Okay, so that itself is another concept, Ferrel's law. Ferrel's law says after crossing the equator, it will be deflected to the right in northern hemisphere, and it will left in the southern hemisphere. But if you see, if you do the drawing, you can see in both the hemisphere the wind will be moving from west to east. Okay, moving from west to east. Okay, that is why the creation of westerly wind spell. Okay, so friends, we have seen monsoon. Okay, and I think most of concept I was explained in as brief as possible. If you want further study, you can study the NCERT. Okay, and role of monsoon in India is, if you look at characteristics is there, role of monsoon is there. Role of monsoon is very crucial in India. Okay, because the entire water for the entire life of India is from the monsoon only. So agriculture wise it is important. Once the agriculture is good, Indian economy is based upon that. Okay, the livelihood of the people. Okay, then trade, everything is dependent upon the monsoon. Okay, that is why monsoon is very, very important for the Indian subcontinent. Okay, at the same time, if you look at the characteristics of the monsoon, is highly unpredictable. Sometimes it comes delayed onset and yearly withdrawal. Okay, all this happens. But one thing there will be question in the UPSC is what are the factors which is affecting the rainfall in the monsoon. So far I have told you that why the trade wind has to come to India. Okay, but after coming to India, why it should only rainfall in Kerala, why it should not rain in Tamil Nadu? The reason is physiography of India. The relief actually determines the rainfall. For example, I'll give you one example. Like Himalaya is not there. Assume that Himalaya is not there. Then we'll be a total desert. Because the monsoon wind, even though they have arrived in India, they may cross over and they may go to China or Mongolia. That is also. So the physiography of India determines the amount of rainfall which is happening in India. So you can say Western Ghats, one important relief. That is why the Mumbai is getting rainfall, Kerala is getting Karnataka, Tamil Nadu doesn't get rainfall, or Himalaya as a whole, okay, is creating a barrier so that this trade wind doesn't cross over, is creating a rainfall within Indian subcontinent. Okay, and one more thing you can understand is why Rajasthan is skipped. Okay, the answer is see, there are two when the southwest monsoon enters India. Okay, it is split into two halves. One is known as Arabian branch, the other one is known as Bay of Bengal branch. The Arabian branch, it goes on, it gives rainfall in Kerala, Karnataka, Maharashtra, then Gujarat, then it enters the Rajasthan. Okay, but thing is, the Aravalli is not acting as a barrier. Okay, even though it is a mountain, doesn't act as a barrier because it is actually parallel to the wind. Okay, it is actually in this direction. Okay, if it is like this, like Himalaya, it is able to stand like this, it can produce rainfall. Okay, but Aravalli is parallel to the incoming wind, thereby they are not able to stop. Okay, so Rajasthan doesn't get the rainfall. Then monsoon also skips two other parts, the interior of Ladakh. Okay, you know India has got a cold desert also. How many of you know that? Okay, Ladakh is actually a cold desert. Okay, it's completely dry, but at the same time it is cold also. Okay, because there are a lot of mountains which the monsoon has to cross if you want to go to Ladakh. Example, Pir Banjal is there, Ladakh is there, then there is a Karakoram range. All these ranges are there. So because of this, the monsoon wind cannot reach Ladakh. Okay, one more place where the monsoon can skip is interior peninsula. That parts of interior Maharashtra, Karnataka, Telangana, these places also the monsoon skips. Okay, in general you can say the rainfall decreases away from the coast. Okay, away from the coast means if you are there in Mumbai, you can say Mumbai is getting rainfall, but Pune will not get a rainfall. Okay, so rainfall decreases when it is going away from the coast, and that is one general thing you can understand. Okay, also you can understand the rainfall decreases from east to west. Okay, that is easy to understand because Rajasthan is the western side. So on eastern side you have got Serapunji, Moss Syndrome and all highest rainfall. Okay, so from the east to west the rainfall decreases. Okay, so this is about the monsoon, guys. If you got any doubts, you can put a comment on the below. Okay, I'll be able to help you out, and you can also subscribe to our channel Victor Goth Academy. Okay, and please comment below and share this video to your friends also. Thank you very much.